Hey there traders, welcome back. In this episode of the Stock Bandit TV, we're going to talk about bull flags, and specifically bull flag failures. You know, just because you see a bull flag pattern on the chart doesn't mean that higher prices are guaranteed. And so instead, what we really have to see is confirmation of that pattern, and that means that we need to see an upside breakout from the flag area. Now, a flag pattern really is an advance, and then it's some kind of a pullback that can be really defined by some parallel trend lines. And so we've sort of got a descending trend line above price, and we've got a descending trend line below price, and price generally tends to stay within the confines of that range. Then that pattern is confirmed with an upside breakout above the upper trend line. And so when price instead happens to just roll over and the pace of this pullback intensifies, what it does is it negates this pattern and basically just cancels the whole thing out. And so whenever you see that, it's time to just move on to the next potential trade. Well, today in the market we saw a number of stocks that really had been building and constructing these bull flags over the past couple weeks. And instead, all they did was just turn lower and kind of negate those patterns completely. So, you know, really they were at a spot where they had pulled back within these patterns, and they needed to stabilize and just sort of put in some sideways price action, if not advance, in order to maintain those flags. But instead, they weakened further, and so that violated a lot of these patterns and ruined them. So let's take a look at a few of these. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Up first is TRN. Now this one had shown a nice rally and then a pullback here that again is outlined by these two parallel trend lines. Well, today, instead of staying within these two trend lines, the stock fell down below it, and so that is a negation of that pattern, and therefore that bull flag pattern is no longer good. Another one that resembles that is GFA. Very nice rally in this stock. Pretty good base had been building here. Stock was kind of resting here and instead fell down below that today, and so that bull flag is no good. Another one, CRZO, just now undercutting the lower end of that channel here that marks the flag area of this pattern. So you see that resembles a flag and now falling beneath that in price. And another one is TK, which really had a very nice bull flag that it had been building here over the past couple weeks, and today moved significantly lower. And we also saw that occur on stronger volume, so that's pretty ugly, and that's not the type of move that you want to see, is a failure of that pattern on strong volume. So the good thing is none of these broke the upper trend line to trigger prices or to trigger buys, and so what this does is simply just remove a lot of stocks from our watch list. Now, a rest or a pullback in the midst of a bull flag pattern is perfectly okay, and that's actually a good thing to see, so long as the pattern itself stays intact. So let me show you a few pullbacks today that we saw that stayed within those bull flags, which were entirely acceptable, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. One of those is USG. Now, this one rallied really big recently and then has been pulling back. Well, today the stock was down almost 8% on the day, but it stayed within these two trend lines here, and so that pullback is okay. This pattern is still in a position to where it could eventually confirm, and so that's the type of pullback that is acceptable within a bull flag. Another one is Western Digital. Now this one rallied recently, and then it's just kind of been staying within these two trend lines right here. Today it pulled back within that flag area, but it stayed inside of it. So this lower trend line here was not violated. So Western Digital's bull flag is still intact. So the bottom line here is, remember, you got to draw those trend lines and you got to watch for those potential trades to be setting up. But when the basis for that pattern that you're watching is violated or it's negated, then it's time to pull that stock off your watch list and start making room for another setup that just might actually offer you a good play. So thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Until then, trade like a bandit.